Welcome back. Well, a reset is underway at the Department of Homeland Security after President Trump signed a bill officially reopening the department, ending the record 76-day shutdown. FEMA officials say the shutdown weakened readiness for hurricane season, while the TSA saw more than 1,000 employees quit ahead of the busy summer travel season. Let's get to the reset happening right now with the new Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Markwayne Mullin. Secretary, great to have you. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Maria, it's good to be on your show again.
Yeah, congratulations to you. And we all want to know what you inherited here and how you see things. You just inherited the DHS after the longest shutdown in the department's history. When you've just been there a little while, but what is still broken inside the DHS, and what can you tell us about your plans for this reset?
Well, thank you. We're coming in after a 76-day shutdown, which is the longest shutdown of any government agency in the history of the United States. As you can imagine, first of all, you walk in and you realize that everybody that's in this building and through all the 22 components from the Coast Guard to ICE to CPB and all their other components, they all have a mission and their mission focused. They were willing to do their job for free for 76 days. So if that tells you anything about the dedication of the men and women in the Department of Homeland, that will tell you that I inherited a great organization. Now, that doesn't mean that morale was a little low. I mean, how long do you expect them to be beat up by Congress and be used as a political pawn like the Democrats were? These kamikaze Democrats that are willing to literally put our homeland at risk when all these men and women at DHS is trying to do is protect their backyard like they protect my backyard and protect their backyard, regardless of blue state or red state. So when we actually finally got funded, I will tell you, I was in my office watching the vote as it goes through. When it passed, you could hear people clapping. I walked down the halls. People were giving me high fives. It was a sense of relief. And now we can get spun back up and deliver the mission that the American people expect us to do. But I haven't quit smiling. I think I had the greatest job in the world right now, being Secretary of Homeland.
That is wonderful. Secretary, do you feel that you have enough funding now for ICE and for Customs and Border Patrol, or are the Republicans still short of that funding?
No, we can survive until we get reconciliation done. What's happened is the Democrats are playing political theater with our border because the Democrats want open border, and they don't want to get the criminals out of our streets because they're wanting to defund CPB or Customs Border Protection and defund ICE, which are trying to enforce the laws, by the way, that Congress passed. And all these Democrats go out there and they say they're breaking the Constitution. Really? We're breaking the Constitution? We're enforcing laws that you passed, and you're stood up by the Constitution, and we're simply enforcing those laws. But because they want to hold the homeland hostage, what we've decided to do with President Trump's blessing is say, hey, we're going to take CPB, Customs Border Protection, and ICE off the books and put it on reconciliation. And that way it'll be fully funded through the President Trump's entire presidency. And so the Democrats can't continue to play games with this. What we were afraid of is if we kept it in with the other 22 components with DHS funding, is come September 30th, they'll try shutting us down again. And guess what? Representative Thompson, who is the ranking chair on the committee that oversees Homeland, already said he's willing to shut us down again come September 30th. So we knew this game was going to play out this way. And so by President Trump's leadership, we said, we'll take that off the table so they don't have to worry about it anymore. So once we get reconciliation done, Maria, we'll be in great shape.
Well, I mean, you know, Ron Johnson in the Senate had a bill to ensure that the Democrats couldn't do that, right? So that you couldn't just shut down agencies and shut down operating businesses and agencies, really is the word, when you need it. Like we're in the middle of a war and we didn't even have the department open. So do you have things in place? Can you protect the business in place so that when you do see another shutdown at the end of September, you're stronger and people are still getting paid?
Right. Well, you said it right. They shut down businesses too, not just department businesses, because remember how many subcontractors we work for us, how many agency or how many departments and businesses that depend on us that contract through DHS. They hadn't been paid since February. I mean, these are people that's providing food for us, or providing the paper clips for us, or that we subcontract for like drone defense and the building of the wall, or the maintenance of the vehicles, or the gas that we purchase. All these had ripple effects because the Democrats' kamikaze approach to the Department of Homeland.
Sure.
So, yes, we do have the ability to fund it because the president's ability to see the importance of funding them through the One Big Beautiful Bill. But that funding can run out, and it will run out. It was never designed to take care of all the operations. It was very specific on what it was there to take care of. But we're able to refund some of the coffers because we had been paying the payroll out of that One Big Beautiful Bill for all 22 components, which my payroll is roughly $1.6 billion every 2 weeks. So that funding went out quick. We're able to backfill that, have the money now to be able to continue funding Customs and Border Protection and ICE, but Congress still has to act. We still got to get reconciliation passed. The president said he wants it on his desk by June 1st. We'll be able to deliver a mission that we're designed to do during that time. But if they don't do reconciliation, it could get very uncomfortable for us.
Well, look, the Senate committees have released a $72 billion budget reconciliation bill. It includes $30 billion for ICE personnel, $22 billion, I believe, for Customs and Border Protection, all funded through 2029. And then there's $1 billion set aside for the security upgrades tied to the White House ballroom project following last month's shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Secretary. And I know the Democrats are up in arms about that. But I want to get to the crux of...
Let me address what that's about. Secret Service has a mission. The mission is they are designed to provide security for the President of the United States and the complexes to which he resides in and does work in. The Secret Service cannot take private funding because they also look over embezzlement. They also go after money laundering and currencies. And so they are designed to not be able to do that. So because of the funding that is required by the protocols and the super important and also the large threat that goes towards the president right now, they have a job to do, and they cannot take, as I repeat myself, they cannot take private funding to provide security for that ballroom. And there's some really special protocols that got to take place that are obviously classified. And so what the Senate is doing there is being able to allow them to have the security procedures in place and the infrastructure in place to protect that ballroom and also the grounds that the White House resides in. One of the biggest threats we have is from a drone defense. That is not a cheap approach to have actual drone defense for the entire complex from the White House, not just the ballroom. So that's what that $1 billion goes to.
Well, thank you for going through that, because the Democrats know that, right? I mean, you knew that as a senator.
Absolutely do.
And the Democrats knew that, and yet they're still pushing back and saying that they're going to force a floor vote later this month on that, and they knew that. But I want to get to the crux of what you're doing, because I think our viewers really want to understand about the border. They want to understand the Homeland Security threats. What are your biggest concerns this summer with regard to Homeland Security? Is it the southern border? Is it terrorism threats? Is it cyber attacks or anything else? I think the border is going to become a big issue once again later on in the year. But first, tell us about the Homeland Security threats right now.
Well, we have FIFA coming, and FIFA's the World Cup soccer, and we're going to do over 39 days. We're going to have basically 78 Super Bowls in 11 cities. We're going to have 5 to 7 million visitors coming from all over the world. We're going to have teams from all over the world. We feel like that threat level is extremely high, especially in soft areas outside of the stadiums. That's put us, because of the shutdown, it's put us in quite a bind to be able to meet that threat need. Now, we're going to do it, but it definitely has hindered our ability to be as proactive as we would like. When you start talking about the southern border, look, the president had made an initiative in his first term. He's made it a strong initiative to finish the wall in his second term. We're building miles of wall every single week. We expect to have the first preliminary wall put up that's going to go from the Pacific to the Gulf of America by hopefully April or June of next year. Now that we still have a secondary wall we got to build with that, but we'll be done before the president's out of office. So we're taking care of our border, but as we take care of the southern border, it pushes pressure for the drugs and the human smuggling, pushing it to the north. So we're seeing an increase on our northern border now that we've got to put more assets to. And then just the huge threats we have every single day from chemical warfare that's trying to get into our homeland, to our port of entry and the amount of fentanyl flying into our streets. And then our sanctuary states and our sanctuary cities has put everybody at risk because the bad actors, not just illegal immigrants, but bad actors that are wanted terrorists are using sanctuary cities and sanctuary states for safe haven. And without the cooperation of the politicians in that area, it limits our ability to be able to move forward and puts us at contrast. Listen, ICE agents and HSI agents are simply wanting to do their job. And most law enforcement we work with, even though cities want to do their job, but they have a governor or a mayor that's prohibiting from doing so.
And that's what's happening in New York right now. And by the way, congrats on that border wall construction. Wow, that is great that you're going to have all that done by April of next year. I think going into the midterm elections, people want to know that there's security. President Trump was elected for the border issues, and I suspect it'll be an issue around the midterms. But Tom Homan says that the administration's deportation program will continue moving forward. He's pushing back on these local communities refusing ICE detention. That's what's happening in New York right now. Here's Governor Kathy Hochul. Listen to this.
All I'll say to Mr. Homan is that Donald Trump himself said he would not send a surge of ICE agents to the state of New York unless I ask. I'm not asking.
She wants to end the partnerships we currently have, which means now we got to send a whole team to look for a criminal that we could have arrested in the safety and security of a jail, which is safer for the officers, safer for the aliens, certainly safer for the community. This is what we have to do because she forces us in this position, and we're going to do it. They're not going to stop us. They can put all the roadblocks they want, but we're going to do this job.
I mean, it's just incredible to me, Secretary. You've got high-profile cases where people are getting attacked and at the hands of illegals in the country, and yet New York will not work with you.
Well, listen, Tom Homan and I talk to almost every single day. We have a great relationship. I couldn't do this job without him. He's somebody I lean on every single day. We're not going into New York like another Minneapolis, but what we're going to do is we're going to go in there and we're going to go after the felons, the known felons. We're going to be serving judicial warrants. We're going to be using administrative warrants in some cases, but there's a lot of known criminals that are harboring themselves in New York. And the governor knows this. The mayor knows this. The city officials there know this. They know these warrants because we've asked for their assistance in helping them pick up these individuals. They have flat out told us no. So President Trump has made it very clear we're going to restore law and order in everybody's city and everybody's states and everybody's community that we can. So we're going in there to get the worst of the worst out of New York, regardless what the governor says or not.
All right, as President Trump says, the bad hombre. Secretary, we wish you the best of luck and best wishes in the new role. We appreciate your time this morning, and of course, we'll be watching your work. Please come back soon, sir. Secretary Markwayne Mullin. We'll be right back.